Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to go over expanding. Now, to help me introduce this topic, I want to take a look at this question. So this question asks, how can I multiply 16 times 34 without a calculator? Now, to do this, what I could do is I can consider a rectangle that has sides 16 and 34. To find the area of this rectangle, all I would have to do is multiply each side, 16 times 34, to get the answer. Right, and this will tell us what the answer to this question is, right? 16 times 34. If I can find the area of this rectangle, that gives me the answer. And to help me make this calculation simpler, I can break these numbers up, right? Because 16, that's the same thing as 10 plus 6. And 34, that's the same thing as 30 and 4. Now, all we need to do to find the area is just multiply each side together. Well, 10 times 30 is 300. 10 times 4 is 40. So I'm going to write that down. 6 times 30 is 180. And 6 times 4 is 24. And now, to find the answer, we just have to add these all up. 300 plus 40 plus 180 plus 24. 300 plus 40 is 340. 340 plus 180 is 520. And 520 plus 24 is 544. So there's my answer. And the reason I introduced this question is because it can help us when we're multiplying expressions like this, x plus 2 times x plus 5. So one way we can do this is by using this model we looked at. It's called the area model, to multiply these two together. So what we could do is we can kind of treat these as being the length and the width of a rectangle, and then multiply these two sides together to find the area. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to treat one side as being the length of my rectangle, and the other side as being the width. And to find the area, all I have to do is multiply these together. So let's go ahead and do that. X times x, well, that's just x squared. X times 5 is just 5x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 5 is 10. To find the answer, all we're going to do is just add these all up. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 10. And something you might notice is we can simplify this answer. Because in the middle here, you'll see we're adding 5x plus 2x. And 5x plus 2x, well, 5 plus 2 is just 7, right? So 5x plus 2x, that's 7x. So my answer here is x squared plus 7x plus 10. So what were we doing here? what we were doing is we were multiplying all of the terms inside the first bracket here by all of the terms inside the second bracket to get my answer. So another way we could do this is by multiplying this out horizontally. So let's take a look at this. We have x plus 2 times x plus 5. And again, like I said, another way we can do this is by multiplying this out horizontally. And really, all I did here is I multiplied everything inside the first bracket by each term inside the second bracket. So let's go ahead and do that. So what do we have? So first, we're multiplying x times x, which gives me x squared. Next, we have x times 5, which is just 5x. Next, we have 2 times x, which is just 2x. And last, we have 2 times 5, which is just 10. And just like before, we can simplify this, right? Because you'll notice 5x plus 2x is just 7x. Right, so both of these methods will give you the same answer. Right, so you can use any one of these methods to expand out expressions like this one right here. And it doesn't matter which method you use. Now, I like to personally multiply expressions out horizontally like this. So this is the method I'm going to use in the next few examples. But like I said, it does not matter which method you use. You can use any one of these methods. Okay, let's take a look at a few more examples here. So in this first one, I'm multiplying x minus 3 by x plus 5. So like I did before, I'm going to take each of the terms inside my first bracket and multiply it by each of the terms inside the second bracket. So let's go ahead and do that. So what do we have? Well, we have x times x, and we know x times x, that's just x squared. Next, we have x times 5. X times 5 is just 5x. Next, we have negative 3 times x. Negative 3 times x is just negative 3x. And last, we have negative 3 times 5. Negative 3 times 5 is just negative 15. And just like before, we can simplify this, right? Because you'll notice 5x minus 3x, well, 5 minus 3 is just 2, right? So 5x minus 3x is just 2x. And there's my answer. Let's take a look at another example here. X plus 1 times 2x minus 5. So just like before, I'm going to multiply each of the terms in my first bracket by each of the terms inside my second bracket. Okay, so first, we're going to do x times 2x. Well, x times 2x, that's just 2x squared. Next, we have x times negative 5. X times negative 5 is just negative 5x. Next, we have 1 times 2x. 1 times 2x is just 2x. And last, we have 1 times negative 5. 1 times negative 5 is just negative 5. And now, just like before, we can simplify what's in the middle here, right? Right? We can simplify the negative 5x plus 2x. Right? Because, well, we know negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3, right? So negative 5x plus negative 2x plus 2x is negative 3x. And there we go. That's my answer. Okay. Next example, x minus 5 squared. Well, remember, if you square a number, that means you're multiplying that number by itself. So if I take x minus 5 and square it, what that means is I'm multiplying x minus 5 by itself. So let's go ahead and do that. Here, I'm going to multiply x minus 5 by itself. And just like before, I'm going to take everything inside my first bracket here and multiply it by everything inside my second bracket. Okay, let's go. So first, we have x times x. Well, x times x is just x squared. Next, we have x times negative 5. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Next, we have negative 5 times x. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And last, we have negative 5 times negative 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. And we can simplify this even more, right? Because you'll notice negative 5x minus 5x, that's just negative 10x. And there we go, that's my answer. Now in this last one here, I'm multiplying 3 times a minus 2 times 4a plus 1. Now there's a few different ways you can do this. The easiest is if we multiply the 3 by a minus 2, right? So what we could do is we could take the 3 and multiply it by a minus 2. And if we do that, well, 3 times a, that's just 3a. 3 times negative 2 is just negative 6. And we're multiplying all of that by 4a plus 1. And now we know how to do this, right? We're just going to multiply everything in the first bracket by everything inside my second bracket, just like before. Okay. 3a times 4a. Well, 3a times 4a is 12a squared. Because 3 times 4 is 12, and a times a is a squared. Next, 3a times 1. 3a times 1 is just 3a. Next, negative 6 times 4a. Negative 6 times 4a is negative 24a. And last, negative 6 times 1. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. And of course, we can simplify this, right? 3a minus 24a, well, 3 minus 24 is just negative 21, right? So this is equal to 12a squared minus 21a minus 6. And that's my answer. So in summary, all we're doing here is we're just multiplying all of the terms inside the first bracket by all of the terms inside the second bracket.